Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Janice. I am 25 years old. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I am a full-time school psychologist intern. I am in the part-time school psychologist program. I'm in my final semester. I just entered it this week. I'm super excited to graduate and finish my hours and just kind of close this chapter in my life. I first want to start off this video by saying thank you to the new subscribers who have been really active on my page, asking questions, and just giving me some pretty good feedback on what kind of content you guys want to see. I recently got a comment about kind of wanting more information as to what this program really is and what it leads to. So I wrote down, if I'm looking over here, it's because I have my computer, and I kind of wanted to just have a sit down video with you guys where I went over the program as I'm finishing it and here's my take on it type of thing. And I hope that you guys find this really useful in choosing your program and what's right for you and as you're going through your program. Also, I'm sorry for the ugly background. I am at work right now. It's Saturday, February 5th, and I just started the spring semester. I had my first day on Tuesday this past week, which I was going to film, but it ended up being a really crazy week, so I wanted to just actually kind of focus on getting the content for this video and really making it quality. So I hope I answer a lot of your guys' questions, and if I don't, which I probably won't do it as best as I think I am, please comment down below. We can start a conversation in the comments and kind of just get the ball rolling. First bullet point is going over the interview process of just getting into the program. So you're researching programs, you're kind of I don't know if I want counseling, I don't know if I want school psychology, I don't know if I want to be a social worker. These are kind of the questions that I had going through my head when I was deciding what program I wanted to be into. The thing that really drew me in to the school psychology program was the way that it had a little bit more security. Becoming a guidance counselor and being certified in that is great. That's what I originally wanted to do. I'm not hating on guidance counselors. But what happened when I was going through the process of finding out more information, I was this may be really hard to get a job in once I graduate. It was a shorter amount of school time, but when it came down to it, I was kind of unsure of do I feel secure in getting this job? But then when I was introduced to school psychology, my school in undergrad actually had a information session, and I went to go sit through the school psychology one, the guidance counseling, and the social work. And when I went to school psychology, I kind of really didn't even know what it was until I got there. And I was listening to the woman talk, and I was okay. And then I was wait, this is everything that I want. I feel they really sold me when they were you can do counseling, you can do testing, you'll most likely be doing both. I'm wait. This sounds too good to be true. And it kind of was, because it did take me a long time. I'm going to get into the amount of years and full-time and part-time stuff like that, but just for the sake of researching, when you're trying to figure out which graduate program you want to be a part of, keep researching and asking questions. And I think the great thing is that you guys were asking me questions on my YouTube channel. That's what I was doing. I was researching who's making videos, who can I talk to, who's already a school psychologist, who's an intern, who's a practicum student, who can give me some feedback. And I think you guys are in the right place, which is great. Unfortunately, I feel there's definitely not enough of us on YouTube. I'm hoping that my presence and other people who are in the field and on YouTube are doing their best to kind of really, it's not even entice you to come into the field, but are there for you and to support you. That's kind of who I want to be here. Now, once you choose which program you want to be a part of, it comes down to also being, if you want to be NASP certified. My program that I'm in right now is NASP certified. If you don't know what NASP is, it's the National Association of School Psychologists. That is what kind of also drew me to interview for my program, because I did want to be NASP certified. Once you start to get into the interview process, my interview was actually a group interview. I had to write an entry-level like essay. I had to write why I wanted to be a part of the program. I had to get 2 recommendation letters, I think, and also have my resume up to date, cover letter, stuff like that. So make sure you're kind of like prepared for that already, so that way when you have to give it to them, it's ready to go. In the interview, the questions were kind of just about why you want to be in the program, what you can do to make a difference, what you know about social justice systems, and what you've done in your career already up to this point dealing with children. How are you with children? Is this, you know, it's also a way of figuring out like who's going to be in this program, who wants to be in this program, because it's a very small knit program. They don't really choose a lot of people. Like, I think the maximum amount was like 20 or to 25 students max in each cohort, and mine was particularly small, actually the smallest that they've ever had. I think we're down to like 12 or 11, something like that. I really don't know at this point because a lot of us are split up with the full-time people, which I'm going to explain. So once you survive the interview part of everything, now we're getting on to you deciding whether you want to be full-time or part-time. Also, hearing back from my program, it took about like a month, I believe, and it was one of the worst months of my life because I was so anxious, waiting and waiting and waiting. But it was worth it because I still have the email where I found out I got accepted, and I look back on it sometimes and I was like, geez, if only she knew. Anyway, so now full-time or part-time, this is the next thing I want to talk about. I went into it, I was thinking about doing full-time. If you take a full-time track, it is 3 years. You do your practicum in the 2nd year, and you do your internship in the 3rd year, and you're done. The problem with being full-time, for me at least, it would have been very hard to work, to make money. And at the time, I financially wasn't ready to do that. I needed to save money to be able to go on my internship, because internship is 1,200 hours the full school year with not being paid. And it sucks. It truly sucks. But at the same time, if this is something you really want to do, I'm still enjoying my experience at my internship site currently, so I know that I'm in the right place. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, if you're part-time, if you decide to do part-time like me, I went to school for 4 years, and in the 4 years I took about 3 classes per semester until the last 2 years where I only took 2 per semester. And it kind of just worked out that way. And although it took a long time, financially it was the right decision for me. So when it comes down to you choosing full-time or part-time, you just kind of have to look at your finances and weigh those options. Now, one of the questions I got from you guys was, is the practicum included in the 3 years, or is it after the 3 years? So as I said just before, the practicum is included in your 3rd year, and you take a class like practicum 1 for the 1st semester, practicum 2 for the 2nd semester, and it's kind of like where you just check in with the professor, you go over kind of NAS domains and experiences in practicum, and practicum is supposed to be 1 day a week, and you get 100 hours per semester working with a school psychologist. I was supposed to be in a building. It did not work out that way. I worked from home. I worked remotely with a school psychologist. She was amazing. I had a great experience because of her. And now I want to also talk about internship. So in terms of internship, it's your final year in grad school, whether you're full-time or part-time. And for my program, you need to get 1,200 hours, and at least for the internship site that I secured, even if you finish the 1,200 hours before the school year ends, I still accepted that I'm going to stay through to June, to the last day. And to be honest, the more that I think about it, I do want to be a part of seeing the whole school through and through from beginning to end. When it comes to getting your 1,200 hours, depending on your program, I'm not sure, the hours are probably or could be different, so just, you know, please look into that. But when you also are on internship and practicum, you're responsible for logging your hours and writing reflections. So for practicum, everything that we logged, so from like 8 o'clock to 3, or if we did extra support hours with webinars, we had to explain every little thing that we did. Now for internship, you still have to log every minute, but then you pick a few things from the logs and that you deem that are like important that you can reflect on, and also say like, oh, maybe I could have done this a little bit better. And it's just about self-reflection and being able to change your professional behaviors or keep them consistent. Honestly, I find them pretty helpful, but now that I've been doing it for like 6 months, I'm kind of getting tired of it, or I'm running out of things to say. However, I don't run out of events that are happening. It just depends on my reaction and my feelings towards them. But only a couple more months left, and then that's over. So I'm not like dreading it. It's just something we have to hand in every week. And then at the same time, we used to have like a time entry database system, but now it is in an Excel sheet, and we basically just log our hours into the Excel sheet for every week, and we separate kids by, you know, who we're counseling, how long we're counseling for them, X, Y, and Z. Again, all of that can be different. This is just how my program kind of keeps you accountable for your hours. Now, you finish internship, you finish practicum, you finish graduate school. Yay, amazing, congratulations, we made it. We're so close to getting there. By we, I mean me and like you guys watching me. I'm so close to finishing. I'm really excited, kind of nervous because then it goes into job hunting. Now, someone asked what kind of the pay range is in New York City. This particular person was upstate, so I'm not sure about upstate, but I know in New York City for the DOE, if you're working for the Department of Education, you're estimated to be around, like, the average is, I think, 72K to 80K, something like that. I haven't obviously secured a job yet with the DOE. I believe that's where I'm going to be going for a job. I'm currently working in a private school. I'm not making any money anyway, but if you were interested in working in a private school, they just pay less. So that's one of the things you have to keep in mind when you're thinking about, okay, what kind of setting do I want to go into? The last question was, can you have your own practice or do assessments and testing on your own? So to answer the first question, can you have your own practice? The answer in New York City is no. You cannot have your own practice unless you go on to get a PhD, a PsyD. I know a lot of people that are going on to do that. Right now, I don't think that's in the cards for me, just because I have been going to school consistently. I did like my undergrad right away and then right into grad school, which I don't regret at all because I know how hard it is for people to go back to grad school. So I'm glad that I did it this way, but also I need a break. So I may take a year off or maybe a couple of years off. Maybe I'll go back, I don't really know, but I'm kind of proud of myself for what I did thus far. I'm going to stick with that for now. I will let you know if anything changes though. For the second half of the question, can you do assessments or testing? So at school, yes. If you're working in a school, if you're working in a hospital, you can do assessments and testing. Can you do it on your own? I'm looking up the NASP website right now. I have it pulled up. So school psychologists with the SEA credential in New York are permitted to work in exempt settings, which include public and private schools, NYSED approved preschool programs, NY State, DOH early intervention programs, colleges, university settings, and or some state and federal agencies. Besides that, as far as this website is telling us, it would be illegal to engage in practice other than in those settings. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please click the subscribe button, comment down below, ask questions, let's get a conversation going. For those of you sprinting into the spring semester, How are you doing? Good luck. You're gonna do great. We're all gonna finish. We're gonna get through this. Whether it's your first semester, mid-semester, last semester, we're gonna get through it. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.